Alright everybody, so this is the piece of property that my wife and I purchased. There's our car over there. And this is the power pole where the power is coming in. You can see it goes over that one with that transformer there. And there is a breaker here that says 200, so 200 amps right here. And then coming out the bottom, they've got it going into this double outlet here with just regular outlets. Looks like you can do two-phase on this, which is good if I need to do that. And then you've got the ground wire right here going down to the ground bar, so that's good. That's taken care of, and I'm not gonna have to do another ground bar for the tiny house. And I'm not sure though how much is coming here. It looks like there's another wire coming out which comes down, and I can see it going down into the ground about right there. And I'd imagine this is where our tiny house is going to be parked, right on the other side of this tree right here. And then that wire comes here, and it must come out over here somewhere. We've got this box here, and this actually looks like it's just the cable line. So I thought this was the power line, but I believe this is, because this is a Cisco box and it's got coax cables. I think this is a TV and the internet and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think that's even a power line. But over here, we've got this cyber power deal. Not sure what that is, but I would imagine that that cable is going to come out. Maybe it'll come up inside this house over here. Let's see if I can get in here. And there's this DSC Alexor thing. I'm not even sure what that is. So that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before, but it does go up to here. It's plugged in. So that's probably not the power line, but my main question that I have, which I've already called the power company, is whether or not the outlets on that box over there will provide 200 amps and I can pull 200 amps directly from them. And if not, how many did they provide? Because as you saw in my recent tiny house post, we're only going to need about 40 amps, exactly 40 amps. Got this thing plugged in, intelligent backup power. That's what this says. So maybe this is some sort of battery system that's in the wall. It might be a backup for the battery backup for the security system, is my guess. Because even though this is a sort of kind of country looking house, it does have a security system with the telecommunications provider. And this is the rainwater barrel. You can see it comes down from the roof, and it's pretty ratty. I'm not sure if we're going to use this. We might have it toted away and just get a new one. We're definitely going to get two new ones for the tiny house area. But let's go look at the other side of the house, because in here you can see we've got this breaker over here, and I'm guessing maybe that wire goes underground to the other side of this, which we've got a couple of mistakes. An inspector came in and said one of these needs to be a 2-pole breaker, and he's just got two circuits wired. I think alright, so I took the panel off, the flush panel off of this circuit breaker to take a look inside here and see what's going on, and it's quite messy. But I see these two gray wires right there and there, and that's the ones that are coming from the outside. And it does look relatively thick. I'd say that's better than 10 gauge. It might be 8 gauge. So this might be 40 amps supported coming over here, which is not too bad. But it's good to see that those are there. And one of the mistakes we saw that the inspector let us know about is you'll see this orange wire. I'm pretty sure orange is usually 10 gauge, and that's what's going over to the refrigerator, the 3-phase, and you see he's got one hot going in here that looks like a 2-pole breaker, and then he's got, and that's the black that's going in right there, and then the red from this orange is coming down here to this other 2-pole breaker, which is a 30 amp, and this is a 30 amp. I mean, it looks like he went 2-phase 30 amps, and he should have done one breaker for that, and that's 2 of them. So if this breaker trips, then this one could still be providing hot to the whatever's plugged in over there, and that could be a hazard to the equipment and a safety hazard. So I did want to take a look in here too though and just see how this is installed. It looks like there's some 2x4s. There's a 2x4 right there, and there's not a 2x4 on that side, but it is probably, yeah, it's screwed in right there to the side with some drywall screws. There's a crazy assortment of screws that gets this in. And that's how this thing is mounted. So that's how I'm gonna mount the one in the tiny house, is screwing it sideways into a piece of 2x4. And hopefully I'll have it come out about 3/8 of an inch, the metal piece. See if I can get that in focus, yeah, right there. So that it will line up with the drywall and be nice and flush. So this is the rat's nest that is the current breaker. It looks like, you know, it looks like that one's not even connected right here. Like it's, well, it's not pushed in, that's for sure. But this is the panel, and this is where that power is coming in from the pole. So that mystery is solved. These two, maybe both of them, are coming over here to this 3-phase cord down there for a fridge or something, and it shouldn't be like that. In all actuality, we're probably going to be ripping the drywall out of here. You can see I painted that part of it, and I painted this wall, and I painted this wall. Actually, I painted quite a bit of this place. I just didn't finish painting right there. You can see it's still sort of beige. It had sort of a smoky cigarette smell. But you know, the roof looks really ratty. I think we're just gonna pay somebody to come in here and tear this out and put new stuff in, and we'll put new insulation and everything in. But let's go out there and see if we can find where that wire is coming in. Here's Jessica.
Hi, it smells terrible in there.
Yeah, it smells pretty bad. It smells better than it did before. So here's the front of our property. You can see the field across the street from us. And this goes down the street. There's not a paved road all the way out here, but it's only about 3/10 of a mile of unpaved road. And then there's a nice curvy road to get back to the highway. So, all right, so here is a panoramic view of our backyard. If you look where those rocks are, the sort of dammed up rocks, where they go to that corner right there, that's the corner of our property. So all up there, that's where the house will be, right next to that tree right there, kind of where that tree is. We'll probably have to, well, we probably won't need to remove that. It'll go right next to this cabin, and we don't know what we're gonna do with that yet. I wanna tear it down and start fresh, but probably won't go that crazy. And then right at the edge of the fence, there are no rocks, but just like right where my finger is, this is where the edge is. These trees sort of mark the edge of the property on this side. They go down to there, right to where the hill starts. And then that's the edge of our property. So we've got quite a bit of space back here to do lots of fun stuff. And that's it. And the good news is, it should not be hard to take, you can't really see it because of the exposure, but to take that line down, because our tiny house is going to be pulled in right here, and we might have to trim one of the branches off of that tree, but it's not going to be that hard to take that line down since there's no electricity running through it. It's just a cable. So that's good news for us, and the rest of it is going underneath the ground, and I think we're going to need to get some conduit to properly bury it and protect it. And what I'm probably going to do is over here, it's funny, I might not even need the outdoor outlet that I put for the AC because we've got the 200 amps right there, but I'm going to put a little concrete slab over there to put the condenser unit for the air conditioner that we got. So this is our land. Hope you like it. See that view? It's really nice, and I'll be back with more details as soon as I figure something else out. I'm Casey from CaseyFriday.com.